All right, hey, this is Marcel here, Master Marcel, Shoot and Sell, as most of you may know. I'm here to review the 2023 Toyota GR Supra A91-MT edition. Oh man, is that a mouthful. But what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna actually just do a small little review of the car and just highlight some things, just have a little conversation while I still have light out here. It's wintertime, the sun is setting early. I unfortunately didn't have time to bring everyone a little. Ideally I wanted to do my review in the daytime so you can see this paint transform. It looks crazy in the sunlight. They got that right. Well, I mean, for the most part, I'll start off with the interior and I'll step outside. I'll pop the hood. I'm holding the camera at the moment, so I'll try to do the best I can, but I'll try to pop the hood. I think everybody who's seen a Supra review before knows what's going on under the hood, so it's nothing spectacular, but I just want to, just at least show everybody, I guess, since I'm taking the time to do this, just like I have been at the Cars and Coffees here in Columbus. But I'll make this short and then I'll go for a little cruise. I can only film about 20 minutes at a time, so I'll probably just drive around for 20 minutes after I just highlight a few things. So I'll go ahead and start with the interior. Primarily the trim, because I didn't even notice this when I first purchased it, because I didn't have time to this vehicle being what it is. I ordered it without no test drives or anything, so I just pretty much blindly purchased this vehicle. But I noticed, I thought this was black originally, but it's actually like a dark blue, like a bluish, real dark turquoise, but it's actually a metallic and it has a glitter. You can't see it now, but it has like some glitter, like a little metallic accent to it. That's a nice little, there's a lot of fine details that kind of go unnoticed on the interior of this. But you have the the champagne, or not the champagne, I'm sorry, the cognac, for those who drink. I'm a non-drinker, but you got the cognac interior, which originally I didn't think was going to look good looking at it online. I thought it was going to look terrible. I'm brightening it up here a little bit. I thought it was going to look bad, but it actually, I got my coat right there, but it actually looks very well. It looks more grown up, just looks mature. And I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of comments and people, they said they prefer a red interior. They're not making a red interior. I thought it was going to go good with it as well, but this actually looks better. Like if if you're single, I think it'll be better, more impressive to someone who you may potentially be looking to be in a relationship with. But overall, it looks, you would think it would be kind of old, but they played it off really well. It actually looks smooth, so I like that. And going back to the that metallic color that was on the door, you actually have it here on the shift knob as well. You can't see it, but that's not black either. That's like a little metallic. I'll see if I can brighten it up and zoom in. I don't want to play with the settings too much, but you can actually see, you can kind of see the metallic there, like the sparkle. It's pretty cool. Like it's actually really, really nice. So it's one of those things where you don't notice. There's a lot of things going on in here that you wouldn't normally notice in a vehicle. A lot of things get overlooked, but there's some small little touches to it. As far as storage, there's not much storage. You have the door. I think the door handle could be a little further forward, because like you have the window controls way up here, which is kind of where it should be, but I just feel like this door should be longer. Like my arm goes about right here if it's in the resting position. I don't know if it's the seat or if the seat position or what, but it just seems like it's too far up, or maybe not enough handle for you to grab here. One thing I noticed with the entertainment system, the Bluetooth audio, I'm sure they can fix this in the firmware update, but the Bluetooth audio is not as loud as other sources, particularly the XM, Sirius XM input. It's like, I swear it's like four times louder as far as input volume on that particular input. I'm not sure if that's a BMW thing. I'm not sure if that's just for this model, but I'm sure that could be fixed in software. But they need to update that ASAP, because we're missing we're missing that. That's really important. All in all, the manual, the feel of it, it was very springy, as I called it in the original video. You know, it's a brand new vehicle. The engagement was a little rough compared to the Subaru. I have a Subaru WRX platform I'm coming from, and it's definitely a different clutch engagement compared to this one, but it takes some getting used to. But it's not as bad as, like, say, the Celica, the Toyota Matrix, what they had going on with that manual. But for the most part, everything is, I enjoy it. Coming from the WRX platform, it solves all the issues I was having with the WRX as far as, you know, it's a lot, obviously, it's a lot more quiet, you know, inline as opposed to the Boxer engine configuration. It's a lot more smoother, very quiet. Audio system's okay. It just sounds the best when it's on the XM source. I think I haven't tried FM, but I'm pretty sure it's better than the Bluetooth audio levels. The AC controls, I'm not sure. I didn't read the manual yet, so it could be me. I'm sure it's here. I don't think it is, but there doesn't appear to be a way to simultaneously control both sides. I think it's just always dual zone. Hopefully I'm wrong about that, and there's a feature I don't know about at the moment, because that's kind of annoying. Because I'm here primarily solo, riding by myself most of the time. As far as the seats, I can fit in here. I'm like 6'4". I got a good amount of room. I have the seat all the way back. Actually, no, I didn't. That's still a ways to go. It's comfortable. Depending on your size, I'm about 160 pounds, 155. You know, if you're larger, you may have issues with getting in and out. There's no handles. There's no handles for the vehicle up top, which I kind of wish they had. It's cool that it's not there, I guess, but I'd rather it be there for at least on the passenger side. I can have a handle to help you, help aid you getting in and out of the vehicle. So I have 12 minutes left, so let's go ahead, and I'm trying not to do any edits. So you get a carbon fiber. I guess everybody's seen that from other video. You get a carbon fiber interior, no space. You get 2 cup holders, not much space for anything else other than 2 people. You can throw stuff in the back, yes. Let me see here. But as far as, like, even cell phone, like, they have a cell phone charger right there. My phone doesn't fit in there. It doesn't fit at all. So it's kind of useless. I just throw it on top. It slides out when you go. Maybe you could take it out or something, but you know, it's cool. There's a glove compartment, so there's that. So let's go ahead and pop the hood real quick so y'all can see what's going on with that. You have lights on the door handle. Integrated turn signals. So here's the engine bay here. You got the struts, front struts and everything. You got the BMW logo. Everyone likes seeing that one. I'll go ahead and show y'all that BMW right there. It's there. So you know, the heart of this car, you got the B58. I know a lot of people hating. A lot of people say, oh, it's just a BMW. No, it's not actually. I mean, internals, yeah, but it's not a BMW, man. Like, the way I put it, for all the haters, I just say, look, although it says Toyota, you think let's say if you're single, once again, if you're single, you trying to holler at some girls, you talking to girls, you think having a BMW is going to be a bad thing, or B, a good thing. You know, when is BMW or Mercedes, anything luxury when dealing with the opposite sex, been a bad thing? So y'all need to kill that stuff, man, because it's never. That's just some people who can't afford, because I'm not going to make an assumption like that, but people who aren't interested in the vehicle to begin with would only say something like that. I got love from Honda, people that ride Hondas, Subarus, Volkswagens, Americans, yeah, Hellcats, you know, the SRTs. Nothing but love in real life. So that's just some internet stuff. People want to, you know, make a joke about it. If you ask me personally, I believe this is better than the original as far as out the box, off the showroom floor. This one's a lot better. I still like the look of the old one just because I was born in the 80s and I was around. I saw those things. I remember when people used to drive those and I couldn't afford one, or I was a kid and like one day I'm gonna get one of those, you know, the Mark IVs. But you know, times change, man. This is better in every aspect than the original. Shit's lighter, more power, faster. I think the original has a higher top end because of regulations, but you know, if you're comparing apples to apples, man, this one, yeah, I like the way this one look. Actually, like this, don't nothing look like this on the road, man. I get so many looks, and hopefully once I mount the camera in there, y'all can see what's going on with that. I get looks for all types of people in real life, you know, not hating, you know, not, you know, I understand what you guys mean, like, but you know, things change. They're not gonna put that two JT, or was it, I almost said 2ZZ. I'm a definite fan of the 2ZZ, like the 2JZ guys. What you guys are to that 2JZ, I'm a fan of that 2ZZ, you know, and that Celica. So I understand, man. I mean, I still like that engine because I had a car that had it. But times change, you know, they have to move on, emissions, you know, just progression. It's a natural progression. But it looks good. I mean, nothing looks like, come on, man, this is crazy. Tail lights, the wheels are crazy. This is probably the best BMW you can get with the inline, with this motor in it, and the quickest, probably the lightest as well. I haven't looked into it, but I'm talking off the showroom floor, man. It don't get much better than this, man, for the money, if you can get it at retail, that is. But so that's that. So just bear in mind, man, like, times change for the better. I haven't really close this up here. They say you can just rock it and close it and it just closes automatically. Mine doesn't do that. Sometimes it acts like it doesn't want to close on one side for whatever reason. But I mean, this thing is just, let me get back and get y'all. And then let me turn the headlights on. No, I didn't even turn the damn thing on. There we go. Come on, man, don't. So I wish it was a little lighter out here so you can see the paint trim. It looks incredible. It looks incredible in the light. And I preferred the blue. I actually wanted the blue, but blue's just a premium. This is the top of the line trim for the Supra. We have the right here, the little badge that lets you guys, let everyone know that it is a special edition, limited to 500. Might that dust that off there. I don't know what that is. Limited to 500. Isn't that crazy? That is ridiculous. Okay, trying to keep this raw. And so I'm back here in the car, go for a little ride. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video, mount it, and then start in. Let's go for a cruise. Appreciate everybody watching. You know, once again, if you got somebody in this passenger, if you single, or if you just enjoy a ride, a driving experience, I hate to say it because I ride motorcycles and I didn't think a car was gonna be good enough for me to be like, wow, this is impressive, and this is pretty impressive. There's some things that could be better. I would like to have a CD player. I would like to at least have a sunroof. I don't know why they didn't at least put a sunroof in here. Now, see, that's my only complaints, really. Like, it could have a sunroof, being the top of the line trim. It needs a CD player. I know they're getting rid of them in the newer models, but that's ridiculous. You gotta have all types of sound. So for all the people that are saying the original is better, the only potential thing that makes the original better is the fact that it has a CD player. If you ask me, that's the real thing. Like, it has a CD player. So, I mean, that could win in my book, technically, but it's not a better car, not at all. Like, you know, they had, well, you had like 30 years of work on it to modify it and figure things out, design stuff. Man, it's time for some new stuff. You got to let that old stuff go. Because even still, with how hard these cars are to find in the modern day, especially with the, you know, the sometimes you have the dealership markup. You know, even like, people complain about it not being 100% Toyota, but the fact of the matter is, if Toyota were to design a true 100% Toyota Supra, nobody would be able to afford it, except very few people. So if you want a $200,000 Toyota Supra, no, I mean, Toyota can't even make, I can't say, they can't make, it would have to be a Lexus. So based off of the sales of the RC, which haven't been selling. Yeah, the RC, you have the ISF didn't sell. All their high-end Lexus vehicles that were sport-oriented, sport emphasis, they did not sell. So they're not going to develop a Supra. So the fact that they even made this one out of nowhere, it's a good thing, because it's actually using the best components, the best component of BMW, and that's their bread and butter, their inline six. That's what they do best. So the fact that they can get the best from another company and put it, you know, that's like Toyota making their dream car. So, because they know that it's probably superior, their engineers, it's probably superior in some form to what they can either produce now for the price range, or superior to the original, you know. So that's something to think about, man. You know, not to hate, you know, they're all good cars, but, you know, if you go out and try to buy a twin turbo Toyota Supra, you're going to spend a few hundred, you know, $100,000. Same scenario with the GTR. You may be able to find a junk one, a used one for under 100,000, but if you want a new one, you're going to pay close to, especially since they don't make them anymore, you're going to pay a lot of money. So, you know, people need to get over that. It's a BMW. Like, it say Toyota, and then if, you know, you can't tell anybody this is a BMW that who doesn't know. It's like, oh, it's a BMW. Like, I mean, you can show them. Luckily, you can show them what's under the hood. Like, hey, here's a logo to help me out, to help support my claim. But if you were to meet somebody, if I pick somebody up right now down there at the mall and say, hey, let's go for a ride, they're going to say, hey, what kind of car is this? I'm not going to say it's a BMW. It's a Toyota. It's a Toyota Supra. That's what it says on the car. So for all the haters out there, man, just stop hating, man. Life's too short to be hating. Just be positive about the situation, man. If you can't afford, I mean, just drive one. Don't. That's what I'll say. Don't come to any conclusions in your head that it's a bad vehicle until you drive it, because I'm sure that a lot of people who are hating on them, or who are saying it's just a BMW, are riding like Civics, if they even have cars. They're not riding performance vehicles, or vehicles that are better than this performance-wise. So, so not to keep it negative, but just keep it. I'm just telling the haters, anybody who's hating on the BMW, the Toyota BMW collaboration, just to kind of knock it off, man, because it's unnecessary. So, but let me go ahead and mount this. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make another video, and then we're gonna go for a cruise. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to share, subscribe. Just you can leave a comment, good or bad. It's all good. What kind of car are you driving? Are you interested in a Supra? Are you looking for one? Let me know. Or do you like the Corolla better? The Corolla, that seems to be a good car for most people. A lot of people are shifting over from the Subaru WRX STI platform to get into a Corolla. Why? I don't entirely know why, because they're mostly the same vehicle, but it's a new vehicle. So that's all there is to it. It's new, things get old, things change. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and mount this up, and let's go for a ride. All right, here we go. I'm here at Easton Town Center, parking brake release. Here at Easton Town Center, the mall here in Central Ohio, and I'm on the top floor of this little parking garage here. I mean, overall comfort, seats are comfortable. You got You know, have driver, you have memory seats. Can't play any music because you know how YouTube is with that. But it sounds good. I heard there's like artificial noise, and like I seen like one review where they said something like that. I haven't heard any, unless the engine is just that damn quiet, and the noise that I am hearing is artificial. That would be quite hilarious, by the way, if that was the case. I mean, it's smooth. Very, very smooth. Try not to hit too many bumps here. I mean, this car turns so many heads, and I'm not even an attention seeker, nor do I care to be seen. You know, this is more of a collector's. This is the first car in my collection. Seatbelt, yes, I will put that on here in a second. Rev matching, you have the rev matching going on even in first. No lockout on first, like some of their vehicles or manuals used to have. I know some manuals have lockout at first. There's the BMW. That's the, I think that's the M. That might be a 3 Series right there, or the M2. Once again, it's heavier than this one. Close in weight though. This is, and the steering on this is very light. The brakes work exceptionally well. I can definitely tell the difference between this one and the Camaro I have. And I feel like it's half the weight of the Camaro as far as performance. Brakes like 8 times quicker. But I think this is like the second time I've turned the headlights on in this vehicle. It hasn't really been, you know, driven much. I mean, got a little bit of burbles, exhaust note. It's good. It's a nice little scenery right here. I should go straight. Matter of fact, I'll go straight. And it's funny that he waited as long as he did. I've had a lot of, I'm gonna go straight actually. I had a lot of cars stop for me when they had the right of way, and they had me go first just because they wanted to look at the car. It's crazy, not making that up. That literally just happened before I went up to film the first video. I like this little scene. Hopefully it looks good on the camera. I'm kind of monitoring the camera in the rear view. Luckily I have the flip out. Hopefully it's not too low. I think you can see everything I can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one little loop around here, Easton Mall. It's about 6 o'clock on a Sunday. It was STI right there. In a Raleigh blue. Color, same color I had in my WRX. World Raleigh blue. Downshift, rev matching is enabled at the moment. Kind of wish you could set it to where it doesn't do that in first, but like every gear, I wish you could select which gear it does it in. At least the ability to take out first gear. I don't like it revving all the time when I'm going to first, especially if I'm going a low speed maneuver, low speed like a parking lot parking scenario. And it's just like it's revving like you trying to show off or something like that. But yeah, since it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday, it's pretty much closing up shop. So there's not many people out here at the moment. But if I were to, oh man, go to the nice populated spots. Oh boy. During what are you doing, dude? During like maybe some nightlife or something like that, guaranteed. Oh my goodness, guaranteed. You get crazy looks, people talking about your car and everything. But you can't go wrong, man. Like this is like triple the car that Subaru I had, and I had it modded, a little bit over 300 horsepower. But my thing was, for how much money I had to make a decision pretty much. Like I liked the platform, but I didn't like how the engine, kind of got tired of 4-cylinders, honestly, after owning a V8 Infinity truck. Kind of got used to the just on-demand power. I'll go ahead and take off a little bit, test the camera, make sure it's mounted in place. Oh yeah, I'll get on the freeway here in a second. But yeah, I kind of got tired of the 4-cylinder platform, and although the WRX it's relatively quick, but I got tired of always having to almost get to red line to get any degree of power out of the thing, and it kind of gets annoying, man. So having an inline 6 with a turbo, I think is a fine balance. I haven't really noticed any turbo lag in this vehicle compared to the Subaru. It just feels a lot smoother, well put together. I have a Camaro V8. I like the power on that one, but this one's much quicker than that. It has more horsepower, but this one's way quicker, a lot faster. But at speed, I think, I haven't tried it, but at speed, I think the Camaro might pull for a second, but this thing will catch it and leave it easily. But yeah, so the 4-cylinders, I drove a Type R. I was considering getting a Type R as well as a daily. And that was actually a really smooth vehicle. But the shifts on it, the manual operation of the Type R is very forgiving and very easy. It feels like automatic. It's so easy to ride a Type R. It doesn't even feel like it just feels like a computer. It feels like it's just doing everything for you. Which is not entirely a bad thing, but it just doesn't feel, it feels too smooth. It doesn't even feel like a manual. So I think they should have gave that like a dual clutch, or I don't know. I don't know what they should have did with that one, but that one doesn't feel like a true manual for some reason. But it's definitely a nice ride. Nice interior on the Type R as well. And it's an inline 4. But even still, like, it's actually quick. It's a really quick vehicle. And it kind of doesn't make a lot of noise when it's revving. I was actually surprised with how quiet it is coming from the Subaru. Like, my Subaru was so loud, even though I had exhaust on it, or actually I had an exhaust, but it was so loud it felt like I was driving a stock Type R, and it felt like something was wrong with my vehicle. That Type R was so quiet, I thought something was wrong with my Subaru. Like, man, why is it so quiet? So if I think about the 300 horsepower, like the Type R, that's a good balance in a 4-cylinder. That's all you really need in a 4-cylinder, as long as it accelerates good. I know people try to go for like super crazy numbers in the 4-cylinder, but I mean, it's, at the end of the day, it's a 4-cylinder. Just get like if you want to go like super fast on a straight. It's funny because like people who drive Civics and stuff and mod them, they want like sometimes people want the type of performance, like let's say like they want the type of performance out of a vehicle that they don't like. For instance, like the Dodge SRT. You got the JDM guys who hate the Mopar guys, and you have Mopar guys that don't like things about JDM. But it's just like, well, when you have a JDM and you got a K series or something with like 10,000 horsepower, it's like the same thing that you're trying to seek within that 4-cylinder is already available within a specific model. So it's kind of like you're achieving something that's already there, and it's kind of like a lost cause. Like, it doesn't make sense You know, other than the fact that, you know, you can prove to yourself that you can do it. Get into it a little bit. Well, we will hit this highway a little bit. Hopefully it's not shaking too much. My apologies if it is. Give me a thumbs down if it's shaking too much. I don't care. It's all good, man. But yeah, I wouldn't want like 2,000 horsepower out of a 4-cylinder, because it's still a 4-cylinder, and you're going to have theoretical top speed limits and all types of stuff. It's not the same as like a V8 with a, you know, that was the case. Ferrari and Lamborghinis, they wouldn't do those absurd engine, you know, displacement engines with the configurations that they have if a 4-cylinder could do everything. I know Koenigsegg, they have like a 3-cylinder that puts out a few hundred horsepower. I know Benz just introduced one with the hybrid configuration. But I mean, come on, man. Once the battery dies in that Mercedes, you lose like 300 horsepower or something like that. It's not realistic. This is a good balance, like off the showroom floor. It says 382. It has more than that. Oh, I hit the sports button by accident. Or I hit the, yeah, let me put it back in sport. I'll get into it here. Hopefully the camera's not moving. Yeah, I just went from 2nd to 4th real quick. There's a state trooper up here, so I'm not going to gun it just yet. We got about 7 minutes left. I'll give you a little something before we cut out here. I meant to go the other way, actually. Red matching the 3rd, 5th and 3rd. And just like that, we're doing 110. Allegedly. You know, I'm not going to drive reckless or anything like that. There's people out here. It's a small demonstration as the person behind me was riding me a little too close for my taste. It's like you got people who have slow cars but try to drive them fast. You know, that was kind of what my thing was with the Subaru WRX. It's a very nice vehicle, very nice platform. Definitely a fascinating piece of engineering from an engineering perspective. Yeah, there's a trooper right there. He's probably like, who was going that fast? What's up? I need some subscribers. Let's go ahead and, you're lucky it ain't clear. I do some donuts out in front of his ass. I need some footage, boy. And maybe coming soon, hit that thumbs up or share this video if you want to see something like that. You never know. But no, for real though, like, yeah, people that have certain cars that aren't built for certain activities. And you know, I can't tell you how many people I see in Corollas, how many people I see in these Hyundais, and they do have some quick Hyundais, quick 0 to 60s, and they're just driving them so recklessly, it's ridiculous. Like they want to go fast, but it's just not a fast car. You know, just chill, like just use the car, whatever purpose it was intended for. You know, if it's designed to just be economical, do that. So I think this one strikes a balance, a very good balance with performance, definitely for the price, performance, and yeah, it kind of steers away from the Toyota heritage. I understand that as far as the Supra heritage, but I mean, if Toyota certifies it as a Supra, then guess what? It's a Supra. I mean, I can't argue that. They said it's a Supra. I think this is they certified it as a Supra. I'm going with it. I think that's a Jaguar. I thought that was Audi that wanted to do a highway pull. I don't think so. That's all right. You gotta appreciate it for what it is, you know. And I certainly do. And you know, it's a good platform for those who want to mod. This one probably will not get modded. We'll have to see. This is more of a collector's item, a garage ornament, to be honest, man. I'm fortunate to have purchased it at Tansky Toyota, MSRP. They're doing good business over there. So if you're on the market for a Supra, give them a call. They may have other ones. Hint, hint. They may have a Corolla Morizo coming. They may have a few coming. If you want a good deal, man, talk to them. I'll definitely represent them as far as quality people to deal with. Because I've been to quite a few Toyota dealerships, and you know, they try to mark them up to insane prices. You know, and that's kind of a shady thing to do, man, as far as treating people well. And, you know, I know it's partially because of the times we're in. You know, they don't know if they're gonna get another Supra. They don't know what's coming to them. I get it. I definitely get that. But you know, the fact that they, you know, they did extremely well, and only thing I was disappointed with as far as my transaction was they didn't leave all the plastic. I told them originally 4 months ago to leave all the plastic on when I pick it up. They didn't do that, which I kind of didn't like. I wanted all the plastic on it, and somebody took off the airbag warning from the passenger side. I always keep those on my new vehicles just for laughs, but they took that off. That's the only bad thing I have to say about the transaction. But all in all, I have it. They made it happen. They called me up when the first, you know, they did everything they said they would. So definitely Tansky Toyota here in Central Ohio, there's options available as far as these hard to get vehicles. And let them know Marcel's. Hey, Marcel, I seen this video Marcel sent me. But on that note, we are just cruising around about 80, 70, 79. And even a 6th gear, put it down, and you know, accelerates relatively well without having a downshift. Really smooth, very smooth. I only hear the exhaust. I don't even hear the engine. It's about 39 degrees outside. So that's going to be my review. I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you for your time. If you're interested in the Toyota GR Supra, this is the future. You never know, they might get rid of the Supra altogether and make an electric one. The electric one might be the next one. But I'm thinking with the Supra, let's speculate something. Let's come up with a conspiracy, right? Let's do some speculation. I believe they're going to make a final edition of the Supra with either that S58 engine, I believe it's called, the one that puts out 500 something horsepower, which will be pretty impressive from factory, or maybe boost this one up in I think like the last year production of this model. I think they're going to do something special like that, make a final edition. That's just me. Let me look at this thing go. It goes. It goes, and I didn't even downshift at all. So, but yeah, so I think they're gonna make a final edition to where, you know, they're gonna have either new engine in it or boost it, like kind of beef this one up to the maximum that they can do with it. And I think it's going to be like a last year only. So like, for those that are missing out on the A91 manuals, I know you guys want the manuals, everybody's rushing out to get one. I mean, the best thing you can do is wait, because I mean, they're either, I don't think this model will get cheaper with time, but I mean, the premiums manual as well. If you're going to mod one, I would get a base trim. I wouldn't even do the I wouldn't do this one, the A91-MT. I wouldn't modify this one. I've seen some videos where people have, but you know, that's their prerogative, but not me. I would get a base trim and then modify it. I wouldn't get this one. So, whoops, my video got cut off. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the best thing you can do is wait. You know, just wait for the either the final edition to come out. They might tweak something, make something better on the last year. I'm thinking it may be limited as well. Hopefully it isn't. But I mean, these cars haven't been selling since they first came out. Nobody wanted a Supra, which is why I believe they made the 4-cylinder version because of sales. I mean, they try to do what they could to make it cheaper. Probably not, because they do have, like the BMW Z4 has a 4-cylinder version, which is more than enough. It's a turbo 4, more than enough power for everyday use. I mean, I think a good combination would be like something like this, and then like, a base model 2.0 or a Z4 base, and then modify it, because you can still get 400 horsepower out of those things. What is this, a Porsche? What is this car? I think that's a Porsche. But, nobody want to go anywhere. So that's all. If you're looking to mod something, I think you'll have more fun with the, everybody wants this, inline 6 because of the motor size, but I think the 4-cylinder will be fun if you're actually modding. But this one's good out of the box. It's like all you need, honestly. I mean, it has power, it has everything you need, except for cabin space to hold stuff. So on that note, y'all, I appreciate everybody once again watching. Sorry I cut off here. I'm gonna just take this thing inside a video editor, just put them all together, no edits. I'm gonna just string them, clip them all together. But if you do want to see more edited video, like I said, like, share, view, you can come through hating, whatever you want to say, man. If you get the views up, I'll put more time into this. I'm just keeping it raw, just kind of having a conversation with you guys, with everyone. I respect your time. I respect time in general. So, I mean, I appreciate just clicking on this video and watching it. But if there's something you want to see, or something specific, something particular about the video, or something with the car you want me to do, let me know. Because your voice will probably determine the next series of videos, if any. Because right now I'm just making them just for the sake of making it, man. I'm happy I got this car. I'm happy I was able to get this car, for one. And it's a good vehicle. So for anybody considering getting one, I definitely say get one. Get one while you can. Get one at retail if you can. If you can. I mean, the 2020s are just as good. If you prefer manual, I mean, you might be able to get a deal on a 2020. But I've been seeing people, they've been charging as much as I paid, more than what I paid for this one, for stock old 2020s. Sometimes they have a few mods, but with the whole modding thing, I actually understand why dealerships and stuff, like, you can put all this money into a car, it doesn't increase the value. So it's best to have it from factory, out of the box, and that's the best way to go with things. And which is why I like this edition. I like the top trim, and hopefully Toyota GR, or whoever's in charge of making that decision. Ooh, police up there. Whoever's in charge of making a decision of where to go with the direction of the vehicle, I think that they should put more power. They should give everybody on that last year. I think they should just go all out, do the best they can do, and then just leave it at that. Just like Nissan did with the GTR over the past, what was it, like 14? I want to say 14 or 15 years with the GTR. They refined it, tweaked it, got more powerful throughout the years, and then they made a final edition that I didn't know about the last year. Because I honestly would have probably got one of those had I known they were discontinuing them. But now that they discontinued it, the prices are insane now. So that will be it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. I will try to do a video every week if there's something you want to see in regards to this vehicle, or something I didn't cover, or something you would like to ask me about this vehicle, about owning it, about what other people think about it. So far, it's been all love. Everybody who I showed this vehicle, the select person who I let drive it, was just, this is it. This is the one. This is it. No negative feedback whatsoever, especially as far as looks. It's just, it's not perfect. It's damn close. So on that note, I'm out. And y'all have a good one. Thanks for viewing. Alright, that about does it for this review of the 2023 Toyota GR Supra A91-MT. Boy, is that a long name. But either way, hope you enjoyed the review. It's all raw, unscripted, just a genuine, just a genuine conversation, really. I don't really do the scripts, don't have time for it, so this is just my opinion, my view, my perspective on this vehicle. So I hope you learned something. If you didn't, get down to the dealership, have them explain it to you. If you can get in one of these, test drive one. They're fantastic vehicles, no matter what the composition of the vehicle is with the BMW internals. It's a fantastic off the showroom floor, off the shelf vehicle that you don't have to modify. You don't have to worry about putting more money into to get a good riding experience. So whew, man, it's been a long day, but I hope you enjoyed. Appreciate it. I'm not really a big fan of telling people what to do, but the real know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share. Subscribe if you want to see some stuff relating to this vehicle, or just random stuff. I don't even know what I want to do with this channel, but I'm trying to be active. So that's my purpose for this video. I just noticed some dust on the heads up display, but all in all, it's a good vehicle. And if you can, if you're on the market for a vehicle, go ahead and a two-seater sports vehicle, you definitely want to consider this one. It's good in a lot of ways than any review could ever cover. So with that said, that's the end of this video. I hope it's not too long. I got about 2 20-minute videos, plus I think another clip and an outro. I think this might be like an hour long, this conversation, really. So forget being a review. I'm not being paid for this. They're not paying me. I'm not looking to get paid to review anything. This is just my opinions. I'm fortunate to have this. I really appreciate this vehicle, so for what it is. So all the haters out there, man, times change. I keep saying it. This is 2023. It's not 1992. It's not 1993. It's time to get with the times, and it's right here. So I'm out. I appreciate y'all. Take care.